The Chinese community wouldn't understand the word for depression if it ran down the lines of our family tree like a fever. If, before our heads hit the ground, it was night sweat, sweet pillow talk, the hardship of our ancestors. Call life the tooth of a canine. Your last name inheritance, the air you breathe a scourge of ash, but never the cold blue of a doctor's office. My name is Vanessa. I'm 20 years old. I'm an artist that works predominantly in poetry, performance, and sculpture. I'm Chinese European, and I live in Auckland. I have an anxiety disorder, and often depression comes into that, and all the symptoms of that, so like mood swings and kind of just really emotionally not able to cope. Call struggle just the street you grew up on. Amnesia, a bloodline, bone stretched separate, turning brothers, cousins, mothers into Chinese whispers. In terms of like subconsciously trying to figure it out, I think writing has been a really good space for me to just reflect and understand. Reading back on previous work and I'm like, oh wow, like I was really depressed. A lot of my writing used to be concerned with like diaspora and the themes of belonging and home, which feeds into both like mental health and also cultural stuff. I do a lot of performance poetry with different places or different spaces, and do a lot of sculpture that ties back into writing and performance. There were so many things that seemed so like aggressive and violent, especially like in terms of domestic objects. You have a garlic crusher and you have this like grater with all these like serrated edges, and you have razors and tweezers and all these other things that really like signify a relationship between a tool and a body. I got really into this idea of the violence of time and the violence of productivity. To constantly be able to be productive and therefore valuable to society. You had to be this perfect worker bee in order to have value to society. You had to be middle class, you had to be neurotypical and able-bodied and all this other stuff in order to have value. But what I wanted to show, I guess, is that that structure that is telling you that is violent in itself and that you already have value. Murmurs of kids that should have done better but didn't. The need to succeed in a world you always had to prove yourself harder than your neighbors. Sometimes I think I've forgotten how to speak. My heart a storm of swarming locusts. How hard it was the first time I told my mum, I think I need help. How easy it is to disregard the small moments silence held its breath and waited for an answer.